Greetings and good day. I am the Golden Chief, Saint Kim, and I welcome you to Good Hunting. This is my first video. Wow. This is my first YouTube video. Now, there are lots of obstacles that I'm being faced with, but I told myself that I was going to record the video today, and that's what I'm going to do. Oh, welcome me to the community. Welcome me to the community, okay? So if I seem a little awkward, out of place, just give me some grace, okay? Because nobody is perfect. Most people like to do a Q&A for their first video, and if you see me looking down, that's just because I have my phone in my notes. So most people like to do a Q&A for their first video, and I thought that a good way for you guys to get to know me would be based off of the content that I consume. So like the title says, I wanted my first video to highlight the creators and the people of influence who have influenced me to create my desired reality and inspired me to become my desired character. Not only to experience that reality that I created, but maintain and expand it as well. Disclaimer, I do not know these people IRL, in real life, okay? I'm basing my judgment strictly off of how they have chosen to present themselves on social media. I'm strictly basing my judgment on the content that they have produced and the version of themselves that they have posted on the internet. Now, if for whatever reason I run into these people in real life and for some reason we just do not vibe, it does not change the fact in my reality that the content that they have chosen to post online has influenced me to become a better version of myself. So in my eyes, in my perception, in my reality, these people are very qualified for me to see them as people of influence, and I feel like they do a very good job of it, whether they are aware of it or not. I just want to be one example that they are influencing people in the right ways. Okay, got it. Enough of the intro. Let's get into my top creator, top people of influencer list in no specific order. Let us begin. First we have the original ITGIRL, and if you hear my son in the background, I'm not gonna apologize for it. Children are gonna be children. So the original ITGIRL, Aaliyah J. Now, when I think of the first stage of the beauty community, when I think of the original, along with others, but like the main, like who pops up first in my mind's eye, one of the people is Aaliyah J. When I think of the beginning of the push, like the push of people of influence, I think of Aaliyah J. Baby, I've been rocking with Aaliyah since all she had was some concealer, a high bun, and a dream that she has now created into a reality, okay? I just felt like how she presented herself online was very authentic, genuine, and vulnerable. And I resonated and still do resonate with the way she continued to evolve as a woman, spiritually and mentally, it aligned a lot with my views and the type of woman I saw myself and felt like I wanted to be. She influenced the spark in me of wanting to create a YouTube channel. She was the first spark of, can I do YouTube? Can I make videos? Can I vlog? Can I make content? She was the first spark in me. Every time I've consumed Aaliyah's content, I feel like it aligned with my highest good. And I can say that about every person on this list. Even if in the future they make choices or they make decisions that don't align with me and my morals and my path, it doesn't change that at this moment in time and in the past, the choices that they did make and the version of themselves at that point in time helped influence me to become a better version of myself. So it's always love. Next we have Bretman Rock, the singer, songwriter, actor, actress, athlete, activist, a scientist on the motherfucking side, the star of Crystal of the Day, yeah, a coconut connoisseur and my Leo sister, the baddest motherfucking bitch, okay? Period. Epi, that's set. Bretman Rock is the first of 3 Leos on my list, and I feel like if I'm going to be influenced by anybody, at the bare minimum, it's going to be another Leo. Because Leos just get it, okay? Leos just get it. So shout out to Leo gang. Bretman influenced me to tap into and explore all the different versions of myself and not feel separate, but instead feel whole. Really believing that I am that girl, and if I see myself being a better version of myself, I need to become that version of myself now. What would my highest self do in this moment? Bretman Rock and I remember him talking a little bit about that, about how it was a positive version of Delulu. Like, he just started acting like the person that he wanted to be in the future. So what would the future version of myself do in this moment? And that's how I started to make every choice moving forward. Bretman Rock influenced me to want to wake up every day and do whatever the fuck I wanted. Do whatever the fuck I wanted to do on my own land with an incredible view outside my window and look good doing it. He made me realize that the desire and the option to want to wake up and do whatever I wanted to do simply because that's who I am as a person was possible. Third on my list of top creators and people of influence, we have RDC, 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 RDC. Real dreams change the world. Now, I love anime, okay? And I discovered RDC on Twitter when they were posting their basketball skit, LeBron James, all those skits, and the way that I was able to connect with them was their anime videos. I have loved anime for a long time. As soon as I came into contact with anime, we were like this. I was watching Naruto every week on Thursday faithfully, okay? Even through the fillers. Baby, I have paid my dues. Don't ever question me about my love for anime. Even though I'm a little bit behind right now, maybe a lot, anime holds a special place in my heart. RDC influenced me to be comfortable with the sides of me that I tried to hide, because watching anime was not always cool. You were seen as weird. You were seen as a geek, a nerd, blah, 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 whatever. RDC influenced me to feel safe being the different versions of myself. So Bretman Rock influenced me to acknowledge and explore all the different parts of me, and RDC influenced me to feel safe in what I found. RDC influenced me to believe that it was possible to see my dream and be able to make it into a reality, and know that the dreams that I have are valuable and they are able to not only feel valuable to myself, but feel valuable to other people and have an impact on other people. They influenced me to not keep my creativity to myself. So shout out to RDC. Real dreams change the world. Next we have Jackie. Jackie, Miss Jackie, Aina is my luxury Leo, okay? Jackie taught me that it was okay to want to experience luxury and that I was worthy of whatever version of luxury I had in my mind. Jackie made me feel like it was achievable. She influenced me in wanting to even think of achieving them before, because for a long time I wouldn't even let myself imagine having nice things. I didn't feel like I was even worthy to desire. So I didn't have a dream car. Now, I would look at material things and admire it, like, oh, that's nice, whatever. But I never said, I would like that. I want to experience that. You know, so I never had a dream car. I never had a dream house. I was at a point where I couldn't even imagine what my life would look like 10, 15, 50 years down the road. Jackie influenced me to really sit in my feminine energy and move with grace and intention. She influenced me to know that I deserve those things, and influenced me to know that I was the type of girl who deserved to want to desire to be that way. Jackie influenced me to love my skin. She influenced me to love every shade of my skin. My whole body is not the same shade of brown, okay? Depending on the season, my face is a different shade of brown to my chest. Like there's a cutoff, like there's like a little M right here, just like on Mabu. So, but instead of on my forehead, it's on my neck, right? So my face is a different shade from my neck and my chest, different shade on my arms. But I find my shade of brown and the mixture of browns in my skin to be very beautiful. And she influenced me to love my shade of brown no matter what it looked like. In any light, in any lighting, in any season, during any time of day, Jackie influenced me to love my skin. Love the skin that I am, okay? Jackie influenced me to feel luxury. She inspired me to not put value on the luxury on the outside, but to put value on the luxury inside. And when I feel like I'm luxury inside, like I embody luxury internally, then I just naturally move luxuriously. Like every part of my day feels like luxury. No matter how it may look, it feels like luxury to me because I feel like luxury inside. Does that make sense? Let me know. Next, we have Patrick Star. Patrick Star influenced me to believe that life truly does open up when you do. Now, I knew what he meant at the time, and although I wasn't able to open up immediately, I believed him, and I knew that once I was ready to do so, I would open up and be unstoppable. Which is how we have gotten to this point in my journey of me making my first video and wanting to shine my light, because life opens up when you do. Patrick influenced me to not be afraid to put myself out there, regardless of what I looked like, regardless of what my environment looked like to other people. Because it doesn't matter how much you love yourself, it doesn't matter how much confidence you have, someone is gonna find you unattractive, right? And Patrick Star influenced me to not let that deter me from putting myself out there. Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so I really could care less if you find me unattractive, if you don't like the way my environment looks, if you don't like how I present myself, if you don't like the way I speak, if you don't like my mannerism, my morals, if you don't like anything about me, that has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. Maybe your taste buds are, I don't know, but it's not my business. It's not my business how you feel about me. I'm going to connect with who I'm supposed to connect with. And Patrick influenced me to put myself out there regardless. Patrick Star influenced me to love myself out loud. And fun fact, Patrick Star is from Orlando, and so am I, West Orange County. I pay extensive attention to people who are on my path, right? I don't believe in coincidences. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and for him to also be from Orlando, for us to have that connection, Patrick Star showed me that Patrick Star was the first example for me that someone from my town, someone from where I grew up, was able to make it out. Patrick Star showed me that it was possible to make it out. Even if I didn't follow the same way that he made it out, he showed me that it was possible to get out. Next, we have Gary Vee. Now Gary Vee helped me strengthen my emotional intelligence a lot. Now I've always felt like I've had I've had a high level of emotional intelligence, more than others. Even if it wasn't a lot of emotional intelligence, I was aware enough to know that my emotional intelligence was more than the people around me. And Gary Vee influenced me to strengthen my emotional intelligence when it came to social media. He influenced me to stop being afraid to post on social media. I don't know where the fear came from, but he influenced me to dig deep and really figure it out. He influenced me to figure out if the fear was something that I had placed there subconsciously or unconsciously, or if someone else had placed it there, because I have been in hermit mode for a very, very, very long time. And I was okay with that. Like, I'm very secure in being by myself. I am extremely okay with doing what God tells me to do. If God don't want me to go somewhere, I'm not going. If God don't want me to talk to you no more, I'm not talking to you no more. It ain't gonna be no explanation. It ain't gonna be no, oh, blah, 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 blah. Nah, if God told me to do something, I'm doing it. God told me to take a step back because I had come into contact with Gary Vee, right? God told me to take a step back and figure out where this fear was coming from, right? So my last post on Instagram was May 31st, 2021. Okay? May 31st, 2021. Now, I was posting a little bit on my stories, but not so much. I posted a little bit on TikTok as well, but not consistently as much as I've been posting on, as much as I was posting on Instagram. For some reason, Instagram just became a place that was, I don't even gotta say it. Y'all know what Instagram feel like. Instagram feels away, Facebook feels away, TikTok feels away, Twitter feels like the dark web. So I'm just like, and I have been, you know, I'm a millennial. I turned 30 in August, so I experienced the internet from the beginning. I'm very much aware how every social media platform feels different and influences you to be a certain way or feel a certain way. So God told me to remove myself from the outside influences so that I can really dig deep and get to know myself. When it comes to Gary Vee, I don't consume his content as much as I used to because I feel like, first of all, when it comes to everybody on this list, I don't want to know every single thing about them. I don't want to know what's happening in their lives 24/7. I don't feel like I should be knowing what's happening in their lives 24/7 because I don't know these people. But when it comes to everybody on this list, I feel like I will take what I feel like I should be integrating with myself and then go put it into practice. So there will be lapse. There will be time missing with these people where I miss what happened in their life at this point. I miss what happened in their lives at this point because during those times I was doing my own work on myself, right? So I haven't consumed Gary Vee's content in some years, maybe since the last time I posted on Instagram, because I was doing so much internal work and I was prepared for however long it was going to take me to do that. And it's 2024, so we see how long it took, and it's taken me even longer before that, since maybe 2016, 2015, right? 2013 even is when I started making the choices. I will get into that later, but just know that I told God that I was prepared to do the work no matter how long it took. Next, we have Jai Nice. Jai is my third Leo sis. She is my boss bitch Leo on the list. Jai influenced me to be a boss ass bitch. Jai influenced me to even want to work for myself. She influenced me to want to provide for myself. She influenced me to not want to depend on anybody else. She influenced me to realize there was an option to do things for myself, right? So I was introduced to Jai when she was like at the peak of Closet Envy, right? She just started doing the videos, the video promo for her collection. She started that. Jay, if I'm not mistaken, Jai started the whole production of making videos for fashion lines, right? So like her work ethic and her creativity, whenever she dropped a new collection, the way she moved, I really resonated with that and the things that I saw myself doing. So she has Closet Envy, now she has Kitchen Envy, she about to drop Body Envy. At the time, I knew I wasn't ready, but I knew that if I kept following her, I wouldn't lose sight of the woman that I saw myself being. I wouldn't lose sight of my faith. Like, I wouldn't lose a grip on my faith. And Jai influenced me to balance all the different versions of myself. So let's go back. Bretman Rock influenced me to explore the different versions of myself. RDC influenced me to feel safe with the different versions of myself. Jai influenced me to balance the different versions of myself. Okay? Jai taught me balance. I used to feel very overwhelmed with all the different versions of myself, all the things that I was interested in. I felt like I had to choose one lane, and Jai showed me that it was possible to want to do everything, but smartly. Like, she told me that there's no rush in exploring all the different versions of myself. I can focus on one thing, and once I become a master of that, now we can move on to the next thing. Like, she showed me that I didn't have to abandon the other versions of myself in order to cultivate one part of me. Like, I could focus on one part, and once I become a master of that, I can move on to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And that's how I would learn to balance myself and reach harmony and peace within self. Next we have Miss De'Ara. The D is in the details. If it's one major thing that Miss De'Ara has taught me, baby, is that I don't owe nobody an explanation for any fucking thing that I do. Especially on the internet, okay? And I feel like I had a problem with that in the past. Not on the internet, but in real life. Like, I had a problem with over explaining myself. I had a problem with feeling like I had to explain every move that I made, why I was feeling a certain way. I felt like I was oversharing everything because that's just the type of person that I am. I felt like if you're in my life and I'm calling you my friend, you're somebody that I care about, I should be able to share things with you. I should be able to feel like you're a confidant, and I should be able to feel like I can share where my head is at. I learned that that wasn't the case. I learned that you can't do that with everybody. I've learned that I don't need to share everything. I've learned that there are certain parts of me that are a privilege to experience. Now, I'm a privilege to experience as a whole. But even more so, there are parts of me that people should only experience if they've showed me that they are worthy of experiencing that part of me, or they have showed me that they are worthy of knowing certain things, right? De'Ara influenced me to keep my motherfucking mouth shut. De'Ara influenced me to not speak until it's time to say checkmate, okay? De'Ara influenced me to mind the business that pays me. Because And that's not to say that I've let the experiences that I've had with people in the past just turn me into some untrusting ass person, but I see the signs, right? I see the signs and I pay attention, and I don't owe anyone an explanation because we are all living our own realities, right? I understand that every choice that I have made in my life, at that point in time, I felt like it was the right decision for me. And even if it's not a decision that, it's not a choice that I would make now, because I'm aware that some of the choices that I've made in the past, I was moving from a space of trauma. I was moving from a space of fear. I was moving from a space of survival. So at the time, the choices that I made, I wholeheartedly felt like I was making the best choice for me in that moment, right? And so that's why I feel like I don't owe nobody an explanation, because that's what worked for me in my life. Just like you have the right to choose the choices that align best for you, I have that right as well. So I'm going to respect your right, your God-given right to make those choices. So you should respect my God-given right to make those choices. And whatever happens after that happens. I'm always prepared to accept the consequences of my choices, because I know everything works out for my highest good. It's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Epi, that's set. Last on the list, we have AMP. I'm going to get it by any means. It's all aligned for my greatest good and the things that I want in life by any means possible, okay? AMP influenced me to only have a plan A, okay? Only have a plan A and put complete faith in plan A working. AMP influenced me to bet on myself. AMP influenced me to have faith in what God was pushing me and guiding me to do. AMP influenced me to take the first step, and which is what I'm doing today. I believe that if I can't control it, it's not my business. It's not for me to worry about, right? I believe that there's work for me to do, and then I believe that there is God's work. Anything that is not in my control is for God to worry about. It's not for me to worry about. I'm putting it in God's hands. I knew that there was work that I had to do internally before I was able to take the first step. But ultimately, AMP influenced me to take the first step that I am taking in this exact moment, which is recording my first YouTube video and getting ready to post it. When I see AMP and RDC, I see Black Boy Joy. They influenced me to reconnect with my inner child. Although when I was a child, I was met with the beginning stages of the internet, I was also going outside, okay? Whether my parents liked it or knew it or not, I was going outside. I was sitting on the green box outside. I was going on adventures 3-4 miles away from my crib. You feel me? I was exploring. I was doing after school activities. I had a relationship with technology, but I was also going outside, right? And as you get older, society tends to tell your inner child to shut the fuck up. That's what happened to me. My inner child shut the fuck up. And AMP influenced me to create an environment within myself where my inner child felt comfortable to speak and be heard. AMP influenced me to reconnect with the parts of myself that wasn't afraid to act upon my curiosities, to just try shit and see if I liked it or not. I feel like with AMP, they are a part of a group of people that are introducing the next era. And there are lots of people who are doing that. Everybody on this list, I'm sure that there are people who you feel like are doing this as well, but I feel like they are doing high vibrational work. I feel like they are producing high vibrational content. I feel like they are influencing people in a high vibrational way. And I feel like they are at the forefront of introducing the next renaissance into the world. The next creative renaissance into the world. AMP influenced me to tap into and connect with the part of me that always felt like I was meant to be somebody. Always felt like, even though I didn't know what it was, AMP influenced me to really believe in one day I was gonna be somebody in some way, somehow. And I'm somebody right now. No matter how I may look, no matter what my reality look like, no matter where I'm living, no matter how much money is in my bank account, no matter what my body look like. Gary Vee taught me that you're somebody right now, regardless of materialistic possessions, right? But AMP influenced me to connect with the highest version of myself. I feel like creativity is very, very important. I feel like it is very important to explore your likes and interests and figure out what you can and cannot do. And I feel like when you find what it is that you like to do and what it is that you are good at, I feel like it is your duty to put it out there, to share it in some way or some form, whatever resonates with you, whatever way your God told you to release your content, right? To release your creativity. I feel like no matter what type of art I present to the world, I know that it's coming from a good place. I know that there is good intention behind what I'm creating. I know that when I release it to the world, it is of high vibration, it is of love, it is of light, and I know that what I put out will have a positive influence and impact on those who choose to consume it and let it affect them in a positive way. Growing up, I've never had a hero or someone I looked at and wanted to be them specifically. I never saw them and said, I want to be that person. I do remember observing people and thinking to myself, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like her. I don't want to be like him. I was able to look at people, see their traits, see their characteristics, see their skills, and be able to know what would and would not make a better version of my character, right? So in life, every experience that I've had, I would review it. I would review it at the end and take stock of it, take stock of what did and did not work for me. And sometimes that led me to adopt habits and traits and characteristics that at this moment in my life right now, I wouldn't choose to have those, I wouldn't choose those things. And that's okay, because you live and you learn. I had to experience those things to know that I'm not that type of person. I'm this type of person, right? And like I said, I always had some level of emotional intelligence. So I was able to realize that when I adopted certain traits from people, I was able to immediately realize after experiencing that trait or characteristic that this is not the version of myself that I want to be. This does not align with me. This does not feel right. And I've always been the type to admit my mistakes, know when I'm wrong. I've never been too proud to admit when I'm wrong. I've never been too proud to admit when I'm wrong. And because of that, I feel like it was so much easier for me to realize that this is not the type of person that I want to be. This is not the person that I know. I was easily able to recognize that certain characteristics and morals did not feel right, did not align with my spirit. And I was able to release it and upgrade to become a better version of myself. That's why I could never have hate for my haters. That's why I could never have hate for the people who have wronged me in my life, because ultimately you assisted in my character development. So thank you, baby. I feel like the people on this list have all influenced me to always choose to be a better version of myself and to enjoy the process, no matter how it may look. So I hope that this video gave you all some insight on who I am as a person based on the content that I consume from people of influence on the internet. And hopefully you guys will be able to make a connection if you do consume content from these people as well. And I also hope that this video will help you guys be more aware of the people you are choosing to scroll and watch all day. I hope it'll help you be more aware of how you are being influenced by the people on the internet. I hope it'll help you be more aware of how easily it is for someone else to change you as a person if you haven't done the work to know yourself first. So I thank you for your time watching my very first YouTube video. Peace to you, on you, and through you. Ciao.